Alright, so in this video we're going to be building a project. So we're going to be working with the DOM. So DOM stands for document object model. Okay, and we're just going to like build a mini project to like walk around the DOM and just get basic knowledge. Okay, so this project that I also work on, I've already worked on it, but just want to work on it again. Okay, so basically we're going to create these three boxes, and you want to make sure that every time we click on each of these boxes, they show this counting, this counter stuff. They show how many times we clicked on them. For as I'm clicking on blue now, it's showing that I've clicked on it 13 times. Okay, so we want to be something like this, and then whenever I click on this button, yeah, this button right here, clear score, it should make sure that everything returns to zero, or it should just clear the count. So it should be blank. Okay, so you get it. So as I'm clicking it, you want to build something like this. Like I said, I've done this before, and I've done it like once. So I just want to like build it again and record it. I want to so I can record this video. So I'm just going to clear um my file, and I'm going to build this thing again from scratch. So if I go here now, if I go here, this should be blank. Okay, so that is what we want. Okay, so I'm going to start off by creating three buttons. Okay, I'm going to start by creating three buttons, and I'm going to name them red, yellow, blue. Okay, and I'm going to give each one of them an ID of but let me check the ID I give the previous one that I built. Okay, ID of just like the color name, so that is red. I'm going to give this one red. Sorry, I'm going to give this one button ID. Okay, button ID. I'm going to give this one yellow. And then, okay, the last one, I'm going to give this one ID of blue. Okay, but just before I continue, let me link to my JavaScript file. Okay, so that's going to be script. So this is going to be script.js. So I've already created this index.html in a folder, and I named DOM manipulation YouTube, and the same thing as this one. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to like style, do some basic styling to differentiate our boxes. So I'm going to say style. I'm going to give it a height. I'm going to give each one of them a height of 100 pixels and a width of 100 pixels. So okay, so I'm just going to copy paste this so I don't waste time. So that's going to be okay. Then I'm going to come down here. Okay, and then let's come down here. Okay. So if I go to my DOM, so this is the DOM basically. This screen. Another name for DOM is like just the screen. This is the interface that you're seeing. So that is the DOM. So if I click on, yeah, so I can see. So I'm using to like color these boxes. So I'm going to say background color red, then this background color yellow, then I'm going to say this one background color, okay, what just happened? Okay, it should be inside the string, background color blue. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap all these buttons inside a div, inside a container. Okay, so this is going to be div. Okay, and okay, So let me see. Let me check now. Reload. Control R. Okay. But I want this to be like close. So I'm going to give this a styling of. I'm going to give the container a styling of. I'm going to say display flex. Okay. So we're going to see how it's going to be beautiful now. So then I'm going to be using something known as value. Okay. Okay, don't let me write that. Okay, let me just write it now. So I'm going to give this a value of red. Then this one a value of yellow. And then this one will take a value of blue. Okay, so basically this value means this value is just to specify the initial value of the button. So like G for G says where is it? So we can use value in for different tags, but for button, when the value attribute is parent, it specifies the initial value of the button element. So what that means is that for each of these elements, these three elements that I created, the value for this first one is red, the value for this second one is yellow, the value for this one is blue. Okay, and I'm going to be playing with them using in this JavaScript file that I'm about to like create now. So but first of all, let me do document, let me get the document by ID. Right. Okay, oh no. Let me get all of them at once. So I'm going to say query selector. I'm going to give each one of them a class so I can get all of them at once instead of just writing get element by ID red, then get element by ID yellow, get element by ID blue. So I'm just going to give all of them a class. So essentially that's the difference between a class. I'm gonna let me say color square. Okay, so basically, so use ID and class to pull the element from, so put element in from HTML to script. But the difference between ID and class, if I'm not wrong, is that ID is only unique to one element, while class it can be used by several elements. As you can see here, I can know if I try to like create another ID with the name red, it's going to give me an error. Or if I try to call it, it's going to give me an error. If I change this one to red, it might not give me an error now. But if I'm writing code in my script file, I might get an error. But for class, you can have the same name for different elements. Basically, I mean, I think I should see a guide that says on that. I'm going to see if this VS Code file is going to like explain it better. A space separated list of classes. Classes allows CSS and JavaScript to select and access specific elements via the class selectors or functions like the method. Okay, get them my class name. Or you can also use query selector. So I think. So I'm just going to say documents query selector, or I'm going to put in my class name. So the way we access classes is by using this period, and the way we access ID either using query selector or is using hash or pound. So this sign right there, so that's for ID. But since color square is the class, need to say period. Okay, so I'm just going to store this in a variable, and I'm going to call it squares. Okay, so I'm then going to be playing with these squares. So basically right now I'm accessing with this short code. I can now access each of these three elements. So I'll make our life easier now. So like I said before, what I want to do essentially basically is just like as I'm clicking this red box, it should be writing 1 2 3 4. It should be showing the number of times I'm clicking it, and the same thing should go for the rest of them. So all I'm going to do now is just to loop through um, these squares, because this squares already entails the red box, the blue box, and the yellow box. So I'm going to loop through them. I'm going to use, you can use for off loop, or you can use for each loop. So I'm going to be using off for off loop here. So I'm going to say const square of squares. Then for this code, you should then do this thing. So first of all, let me just say console log square dot square dot value. So I wanted to print out the value of the box that I'm clicking in the console log. So let me see if this is going to work. If my code is correct, it should work. Okay, I think I just made a mistake. This thing should not cancel. But actually that thing printed out. As you can see red, yellow, right here, so that is correct. Why did that happen? Let me check. Something is wrong. I made a mistake somewhere. While writing the code, I made a mistake. Okay, I didn't close. I didn't end this. Okay. Then reload. Okay, back, and you can see this is showing red, yellow, blue, and you can see JavaScript line 4. So this is the code running. This program line 4. This is one that is running, but that is not our objective. So I'm going to like clear that line. Okay. Okay, so before I even start creating my for loop, I'm going to like I want to create an object that has all the boxes. So I'm going to say const times clicked equals to object. I'm going to have red equals to 0, and I'm going to have yellow equals to 0. Then I'm going to have blue 0. So now this is how it's going to be. I'm going to say square for every time I click, so square dot on click. So this is square dot on click. So anytime I click on each of the square, I'm then going to pass a function. This function, I'm going to say you should then do times clicked dot times clicked square dot value. Every time I click each value, each square, it should change it, so it should increment it. So let me save this box before I continue writing my program. Let me see. Okay, it's not working. Okay, so square dot on click. Okay, this should be squares. Yeah, squares. See, okay, still not working. Okay, I'm making a mistake here. Let me look through this. Okay, let's figure out what the problem is. Okay, I said for each square, this is iterator, for each square of squares. Okay, you should then do, this should actually be square of dot on click. Okay, you should then do square dot on click. Okay, whenever the square For every square in squares, it should run this code. So whenever each square is clicked, pass this function times clicked, like this object here, and then square dot value. So that'll be let's, for example, red is the first one, so this will be time clicked red. So it's going to increment the value by 1 whenever it is clicked. Okay, so actually it should be working. I think so this should be working. So reload then. Okay, I think we need to add something like, we should then do times click square. So after it increments the stuff every time it's clicked, you should then do something like times clicked dot inner, I'm not sure, inner, I think inner text, something like that, if that makes sense. Let me see. Okay, no. It cannot be. Okay, square. Okay. This should be, it should then say square dot, it should be like this, square dot inner text equals to this. Okay, so we are storing the, we are saying that after it increments, after it clicks and it increments, after we click on it, every time with the, that is square is clicked on, it should increment the value of the it should increment the value of the square that is being clicked on. Okay, and once it does that, it should then do for that square again, it should then print out the value. So this is something like red. So red, it should then show out 1, 2 and all that. So let's see if this works. I believe it's going to work this time. Yeah, I really don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but I really don't know if I'm explaining this thing very well. But then this is awesome. Our code is working, and that is what we want basically. Okay. So another thing that we have to do now is like to reset this thing. Instead of just having to reload it, there should be a button that we can click, like as you saw in the beginning of this video. There should be a button that we can click that will then reset the counter. So what we're going to do now is just come here, and then below this div we should create another button, and we should call it clear counter. Okay, so I'm going to give this an ID of clear score. Okay, I don't know if that's a good name, but just for the purpose of this video, so I'm just saying so and then I'm going to create another function. I'm going to call it clear score or clear counter. So I'm going to pass it parameter, then okay, then this, and okay. Okay, first of all, we'll get it. Let me call it, let me say const clear what did I call it? Clear score. Okay, clear score, clear score button. So this is going to be equals to document dot get element by ID. No, get animation, get element by ID. So then I'm going to give it clear score. Okay, so this is all what I'm going to do is going to, like, whenever I click, first of all let me see if this button is showing. So whenever I click this, as I'm clicking this counter, clear counter, it should set this red, it should make it blank. So what I'm going to do now is just to change the value. This is why I created this value. I'm going to say time. I'm going to say times clicked. Oh no, I'm going to say okay, yes, times clicked, and I'm going to access each property in the. Oh no. Okay, let me see if this works. I'm going to set it to 0. Then I'm going to do the same thing. No, for the 1, 2, 3, for the remaining 2. So I'm going to say yellow, and I'm going to say blue. Then I'm going to say shouldn't. Okay, no. Let me see this. Let me see what this shows. Okay, it's not working. Okay, I think this function should be okay. No, I'm going to say declare whenever this button is clicked. I'm going to pass it the below function. So this will be. I'm going to say clear counter. Okay. So you put it like this, it's not going to work. But instead, I want to print the. We have to call the function. We have to declare the function before we call it in JavaScript because it's going from top to bottom. Okay. So then I'm going to say for each. I'm going to use a loop again. I'm going to say for const. I'm going to for loop const square of square. Like I said, you can also use for each square for each loop, and I think I'm going to show you that. So for each square of squares, you should set the inner text, which is going to show something that which is what is going to show up on the screen. You should set it to, I think it should be blank. Let me see if this thing works. Okay, stand. Okay. Okay. So this document is the one I created before. Okay, basically I think we should be accessing the values, not the object. The values that we created in the HTML. So it should be dot. No, it should be dot. Right. Okay. So this is accessing the value in our object. So I think this should work. I think. Wow! Look at that. It works. So if I say this one, I click on it, and then it works now. And another cool thing is that instead of making the whole thing blank, we can say this should be 0. So once I click on clear counter, it's going to show me 0. Okay. No, don't disgrace me, please. You should show 0. Okay, let me reload. Oh, okay, finally. Thank you. So this should be a string. But no, I think 0 should still work. Because I didn't refresh it that time. Yeah, it should work because I didn't reload it. So just number 0, or you can leave it as blank. Okay. So that is it. I hope what I did here made sense. Basically, what we do is we just made changes to our HTML using JavaScript. Okay, we made changes to the DOM, we printed out stuff on the screen. We made the screen interactive using JavaScript, and we wrote just two functions, just two set of functions. and our program is working. So let me reload. So because I'm clicking this, is showing the number of times it's been clicked. Okay, and then when I hit this clear counter button, it's going to erase everything. So that is it. Thank you and bye bye.